Yeah, you're right in the eye right as I started talking, Cat. Way to go. Howdy, folks. So, today we are going to be playing the Arena Open Sealed event. I have not played this format before. I don't know the archetypes or even most of the cards. So, we're going to be attempting to do a blind speed run because I also have a limited amount of time. So, in that sense, let's see. Let's get right into it. First things first, we're going to look at the playables in each color, and then, as are the typical sealed rules, try to figure out what the most aggressive possible thing we can do is. So for starters, we have a green 1/1 Death Toucher, a protection combat spell, a ramp late game spell, a better ramp spell. I'm assuming most of the time you channel this for 2 and just get your 2-mana Dork. Fade into Antiquity. That might actually be pretty good in this set with all the sagas that are running around. I could see that actually being main deckable. Modified synergies, creature and enchantment. Okay, so that's kind of a cool loop with Shigeki in the late game, if needs be. Pump spell enchantment, sure. A card that's good with sagas and is a 4/3 on its own. I could see that being kind of okay. Invoke the Ancients seems actively excellent. Blossom Prancer seems actively excellent. Tales of Master Seshiro seems probably actively excellent, especially if we have like 3 ramp spells. Greater Tanuki seems also excellent if we have this many 5-drops. Spinning Wheel Kick seems good. And then we have 2 green-white saga things. I guess I've got Tales of Master Seshiro as a saga, but that's probably not as many as normally get played. Fade into Antiquity is kind of just a good card to be running. Oh, I suppose there's both enchantment themes and artifact themes, huh? So we could, like, theoretically run that and not be disappointed. I'm assuming I'm not supposed to play more than 1 Season of Renewal, even if it does combo with Shigeki. Although, I don't know, maybe. I guess Cultivation is technically an enchantment for it to get back. So, like, theoretically we could. Kind of awkward that we have 2 2-drop mana dorks, but no 4-drops to ramp into in this color, though. Okay, in red, we have... I'm assuming Kumano Faces Kakazan is probably a good card, considering it's good in constructed. It's probably still acceptable in limited. Voltaic Surge, interesting, but probably not just generically good without synergy. Crackling Emergence, technically okay. 3 mana, 3/3 haster, more or less. I mean, that's probably fine. Kami's Flare is probably fine. Song Shaper, not stellar. Upriser Renegade, probably difficult. I guess I have Master Seshiro to start modifying stuff. Okay, I'm going to assume I just don't have deep enough red to play red at all. Let's see. Black has... Dokuchi Silencer is kind of okay, but I don't have anything to enable ninjutsu. Tribute to Hirobi is kind of okay, but not excellent. Debt to the Kami seems probably good. Kami of Terrible Secrets seems okay. Invoke Despair seems good, but I doubt I'm going to be able to fix that much black very easily. Yeah, black doesn't look deep enough. Blue... Well, okay, we also have, like, no blue cards. Network Disruptor's okay. Spell Pierce is okay. I mean, not actually. Mobilizer Mech. I have no vehicles in green. Prosperous Thief, but I don't have ninjas or rogues. Suit Up. Suit Up's probably fine. Thirst for Knowledge is probably okay. Tamiya's Completion's probably fine. Yeah, those are probably, like, okay. White has Banishing Slash is, like, actively good. Ganjo Exemplar is probably good. Era of Enlightenment, probably not terribly good. Golden Tail Disciples, probably okay. Imperial Recovery Unit's probably actively good. Befriend the Moths. That's probably not like a good 4-drop to ramp into, is it? Repel the Vile is probably good, though. Sunblade Samurai? Maybe? I mean, there's a lot of enchantment stuff going on here that I could technically play with Jukai Naturalist and Satsuki. I'm assuming I'm probably going to have a lot of colorless filler, too. Yeah, Sunblade Samurai is probably fine, especially with me having a bunch of ramp and Jukai Naturalist. And we could, like, probably play Friend the Mods, maybe. And, like, maybe Golden Tail Disciple, maybe. And maybe When We Were Young, maybe. Okay, and what else do we have in the sense of artifacts? Do I have any discard synergies? I do, actually. I have all the channel stuff. Lets me channel Careful Cultivation and then play it to get a 2/5? 2/4? It's kind of okay. Actually, it'd be really hilarious to get to the point where you're channeling Shigeki and then playing Shigeki from the graveyard over and over. That'd be kind of amusing. Era is the 3rd best uncommon. Which one's Era? Era of Enlightenment? Oh, it's got First Strike. Okay. I believe you now. Reading comprehension good. Okay, this is just a creature land. This is a slow way to deal 3 damage to something. Containment Construct might be interesting. Oh, College's Terrarium seems fine. Mechatitan Core. I don't think I'm capable of activating Brute Suit. Oh, that seems like actually probably good with all of my 2-mana Mana Dorks. I could probably play some of those. Searchlight Companion seems probably not stellar. Shrine Steward gets an aura. Do I have any busted auras, though? I don't think so. I expect Searchlight's probably not bad. I just don't expect that it's good enough to play in this deck. Okay, so I feel pretty forced into these colors. Then it's just a question of cuts. Do I have a way to, like, sort this automatically? Is that an option anywhere? All right, let's see. We need 17. No, we need 23 cards, so I need 9 cuts. I have a lot of ramps, so I'm actually sort of okay playing all these 5-drops. And Sunblade Samurai is plain cyclable. Wow. This also gains you 2 life when you cycle it? In addition to just putting an enchantment creature in the yard? Gosh, I should figure out how to play this in Historic. Not only do we have that loop between Colossal Sky Turtle in this deck, we have the better version of it with Shigeki. And 2 copies of Season of Renewal. For what it's worth, the cards I've been underwhelmed with from this pool are the Green-White Rare, When We Were Young, Brute Suit, and Careful Cultivation. I feel like Careful Cultivation should just be good. 2-mana Mana Dork is usually limited fine, with the expectation that you just never cast the aura, unless this is a format that's really just too fast for that. But, yeah, alright. We can ship Brute Suit. I'm not against that. I probably don't need 2 Season of Renewals. Probably don't need Befriending the Moths. When We Were Young, admittedly, is probably too slow, although I'm likely to be able to enable it pretty easily because all my creatures are enchantments. So I just really only need an artifact. There's a fair bit of balance in the format. Okay, I could see that. But currently we're playing a lot of very powerful 5-drops between Master Seshiro, Blossom Prancer, and Invoke the Ancients. So I feel like I'm just obligated to run the ramp up to 5. I also have Shigeki and Spinning Wheel Kick to reward ramp. So I feel like that makes me kind of obligated to be running it. Let's see. Oh, Imperial Recovery Unit with Shigeki is going to be disgusting, huh? That ought to be fun. Satsuki, Disciple, and Kami. You'll have to be more specific about Kami. I'm assuming Geothermal Kami, which I'm inclined to agree with. I'm mostly interested in it because there's value in having a 4-drop creature when we have 2 2-mana ramp spells. And I think that it's better than Befriend the Moths, probably, for that purpose. Okay, so let's say we get rid of When We Were Young. Although, honestly, being able to loop Lifelink with Shigeki seems kind of cool. Probably not, though. Terrarium is a cut with 2 Sunblades? Yeah, that's fair. And we're kind of cutting most of our artifact synergies already. I might be able to get away with 16 lands in this deck with 2 Sunblades. Don't think Recovery Unit is good enough. Really? I feel like returning Shigeki and Satsuki is probably pretty excellent. It might not be, but I might be trying to think this is a slower format than it actually is. It's true that Sunblades don't get us Invoke mana, but I mean, realistically, Invoke the Ancients is probably a 6 or a 7 drop, and I think I'm just okay with that. I'm pretty sold on playing Cultivation when I've got Invoke the Ancients. I think having any amount of ramp that turns into green sources is worthwhile. Recovery Unit pretty bad. Huh. Maybe I'm just not supposed to be as in on looping Shigeki as I want to be? I mean, a Gonjo Exemplar probably doesn't feel stellar. I think we can cut that. Yeah, I could cut Geothermal Kami. We don't need more stuff to make Shigeki busted, huh? Okay, that's disappointing. I want to love this card, but I'm willing to believe chat. Alright, so then do we cut the Geothermal Kami, or do we just jam? I think we just jam. I think 16 lands is okay with this deck. I think I want to go with like 6, maybe 7 plains and 9 forests. I'm kind of tempted to go 6 plains, 10 forests. That's still kind of 8 white sources with the Sunblades, but Jukai Naturalist being something we want to play on 2 and Era of Enlightenment being something we want to play on 2 makes it a little dicey to try to go for that. It'll be fine. We'll get to Invoke the Ancients. Alright, I think that's our list. Okay, well, Fang of Shigeki into Jukai Naturalist into Golden Tail into Sunblade Samurai seems fine. Don't mulligan in Limited, and then you play your cards out on curve. Fang of Shigeki. Oh my. Fang of Antiquity is probably good. Or Fade into Antiquity, rather. Life of Toshiro Umezawa. That card seems good. How rude. Okay, 3 green sources already, so pretty close to casting Invoke. Opponent presumably gets to get in for 3 here. Yeah, not the most exciting. But we're going to have 2 Lifelinkers. I don't really want to have to fade into Antiquity the Death Toucher, though. Rise Infiltrator. Okay, well, that's not really on curve, thankfully. What do you turn into? Somewhat decent creature. That's annoying. Alright, well, let's get in and start gaining some life back. Okay, I was gonna say, if there's a combat trick here, I'm very sad. Faded Antiquity, it's not ore, right? I could, I guess, exile that, but I'm probably supposed to play my Lifelinker before that. Mostly I'm upset that the 2-mana 2/3 killed my 1/1 Death Toucher for free. That's like a lot of value, and also did 2 damage to me. So it was just a, 2-mana Ravenous Chupacabra with better stats? Alright, I'm sold on the card being good suddenly. kind of hope they just pump the Infiltrator here. Okay, Banishing Slash that I can't use. I can trade Golden Tail Disciple with Fang of Shigeki here. I suspect I probably am supposed to do that. The alternative is no attacks, don't gain any life. Okay, that costs 4 to pump. I see. Which would be why they didn't pump it. So I could do no attacks, play Sunblade Samurai, Fade in Antiquity, the Fang of Shigeki next turn. Oh. I was supposed to care about artifact synergies in the deck for this, huh? No, I think I just want to get the Fang of Shigeki off the board. And if they use a removal spell here, that's fine too. This not being an instant is a bummer. Yep, that's the trade I think I was supposed to make. Then we play our 4/4 with Vigilance for 4 mana. That's a pretty good deal. Don't kill it. I need that. Okay, well, the opponent didn't do anything last turn, which has good implications about them slowing down, potentially? Yay. Oh, alright. Kappa Tech Wrecker seems pretty busted here. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well then, we're gonna exile the 2/3 so we can actually attack. I'm getting, like, my pants 2-for-1'd off here. I would like to draw Invoke the Ancients, I think. It's kind of horrifying that my opponent's missing land drops, because after 2-for-1ing me, it means they have even more action. Virus Beetle. I assume that has to be getting rid of Banishing Slash, then. Repel the Vial just feels more reliable right now. And unfortunately, I cannot attack with Jukai Naturalist. Alright, no attacks. Hold on to the forest in case they play more Virus Beetles. Unfortunately, we are now flooding out while the opponent has infinity action. Okay, well, I have nothing. I could certainly exile a Virus Beetle. That feels like not how I'm supposed to use my cards, though. Okay, land drops are bad for me. Could repel the Vial here, but I think I need to save that for something bigger. Okay, Season Renewal's pretty excellent. Good timing. We get to get back Golden Tail and... Do we get Jukai Naturalist or the Death Toucher? Probably the Death Toucher now. Oh, that's not the 4/4. This thing exiles? Wow, that's busted. Okay. That's bad. Well, definitely the Fang now. Hold on to the land in case we need to discard to a Virus Beetle again. So we got slight parity on the board for very skeptical definitions of parity. Opponent still has so many cards. Surge Hacker Mech. Another 2-for-1, why not? Alright, then we take 4 damage. Sure. Okay. More lands. Alright. That makes us play our land drops. So if they crew Surge Hacker Mech, I can at least exile that. Okay, well, I can discard a forest. That's, I guess, another reason to have not played land drops. Ah, don't bump the microphone, kitty. Don't bump the microphone, kitty. Kitty cat. No. Okay, this doesn't have any attack triggers, right? No, seriously. Okay. Turn around. I don't know how loud that gets, but that's probably not good. Exile Surge Hacker Mech. Okay, well, we're gonna have to lose the Golden Tail, but I'm pretty sure Tales of Master Seshiro is worth playing. Okay. Plus, like, we gain 3 life, which is kind of cool-ish. Wish I hadn't played one of my lands, though. This then turns into a creature, huh? So, another 3-for-1 for them? Kind of just a deck full of 3-for-1s, huh? Admittedly, Kapatek Wreckers and Toshiro were more like 2-for-1s. Okay, I probably can't win here. Need to invoke the Ancients off the top of the deck. Era of Enlightenment doesn't seem good enough. Okay. Okay, well, 1-drop, 2-drop. Seems like a plan. Ooh, a better 2-drop that helps us hit our land drops. Sweet. You tap to do anything? Put a lore counter on each saga. Okay. So technically I could flip Era of Enlightenment faster. Or I guess approximately just as quick. How does the math on that work out? No. I don't want to have to play the saga next turn. I want to cycle Greater Tanuki into Tales of Seshiro. So we just play the Era. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I just need a 4th land. Scries won't matter too much because we're going to shuffle next turn, but I don't want to draw either of those creatures. We drew the land. Stellar. You turn into a first striker that we're going to give power to. That seems fine. I'm not particularly worried about Cloudsteel Kirin other than the fact that it's a good attacker. I feel like we have enough removal in our deck that the can't lose the game clause isn't going to be particularly relevant. Alright, we get to go get a 3rd green source here. Opponent leaving up a lot of mana. It's kind of concerning, especially because they didn't activate the Terrarium, so they have some synergy they're planning for it. I'm a little nervous that means that the opponent's likely to have some kind of counterspell here. Or instant speed removal spell. I kind of wonder if I'm not supposed to play my card out into that. But I don't know what instant speed removal spells exist in the format. I could just play Satsuki, and then play Tales of Master Seshiro next turn, when they're not holding up a bunch of mana. And that's reasonable. It actually kind of accomplishes getting these two... or getting Tales of Master Seshiro to the same place by next turn. The only downside is that I spend more mana next turn and I don't use my mana this turn very efficiently. Hey, they did have an exile spell for an enchantment. I was correct. Kieran gets pumped, sure. Spinning Wheel Kick with Fang of Shigeki seems kind of cool. Opponent leaves up 3 mana. Okay. Rude. Alright, well, once again, we're approaching the point where we're in danger of having flooded out. Not getting to draw more cards is not something I like. I mean, none of my remaining creatures really matter. Befriending the Moths. Okay, well that's at least sort of slow. And Fade into Antiquity is not garbage. And you know what? When Satsuki dies, we actually do get a Tales of Master Seshiro back, don't we? Which would be kind of nice. There is technically Spell Pierce in this format. I can't do anything about that. That feels good, though. Maybe I should make this land drop? Unclear. Colossal Sky Turtle. How much ward do you have? Only 2? Okay. Well, we are approaching decent territory. I'm assuming I'm just supposed to make land drops against Ban. Botelho reaches skyward. What do you turn into? Big? Keyword big is scary. Season of Renewal. That's interesting. So we can get back Tales of Master Seshiro and Greater Tenuki? And I assume for mana efficiency's sake, I'm just supposed to remove Botelho reaches skyward right now. A little disappointing we don't have 1 more mana, but yeah, we do what we can. I wonder if I should play the other Season of Renewal. So far it's been kind of good because all my creatures are enchantments. Alright, let's get back a Greater Tenuki and a Tales of Master Seshiro. This feels more like what the deck is supposed to be doing. I'm assuming I'm supposed to play Greater Tenuki here. And then Master Seshiro next turn. And play the land drop. I'm not sure what it would matter against, in all likelihood, but yeah. Okay. No attacking with Geothermal Kami. Fine. Blossom Prancer seems pretty good, though. Tales of Master Seshiro going all in on Fang of Shigeki doesn't seem stellar. Because then they just start trading off with the Moth. But I don't think they trade off with it as a 1/1. I think I'm probably just supposed to play Blossom Prancer here. But we are definitely successfully outgrinding them now. And also they are flooding more than us. Oh, I'll take Tales of Master Seshiro, why not? Circuit Mender. Opponent gains life and draws a card. Good for them. Thankfully, Tales of Master Seshiro is going to pump our Blossom Prancer enough that it does not die. Ooh, hey, cool, a draw 3. I wonder if I was supposed to, like, return Spinning Wheel Kick to try to go for lethal or something. I think I'm definitely supposed to get Tales of Master Seshiro to flip next turn. Which I think just means turning the Fang of Shigeki into a 2/2 and trading with the Circuit Mender. I don't think there's much point in making the Blossom Prancer bigger than this. Wait, what? Why? Combat trick? Yeah, okay. Fair enough, I suppose. That is a lot of life gained. Opponent gets to draw 2. Good for them. There goes the blind speed run. We are 0-1 at the moment. I think we have a decent looking deck, but I definitely just got kind of blown off the face of the earth in the first game. That's a lot of stats. Cop attack record. Okay, I am extremely glad they didn't choose to exile our Tales of Master Seshiro. That seems very good for me. Still no artifacts for this Banishing Slash is kind of awkward. Oh, you have haste. Wow. Alright. Let's give everybody vigilance and swing. Oh, you get a death touch counter too? Wow. Cop attack record keeps getting more busted. Alright, let's get rid of flyers. I don't particularly want to deal with that. The name turning into an emote is delightful, isn't it? What do you do? Nothing particularly relevant, right? Hey, we do have Geothermal Kami still in the deck. Sweet. I'm probably just supposed to Shigeki back Banishing Slash and Wheel Kick, and then Banishing Slash our opponent. Don't really want them having a flyer. Didn't need to give them this information, though. Technically, could have opted to exile the Intercessor's Arrest? Does that accomplish something? I don't think that was lethal. Yeah, because they could still just double chump block. And then, like, potentially draw a... Yeah, I think it's worth letting them draw a card here to kill both of these creatures. I doubt they can find some kind of hasty flyer that kills me. And then we just have Wheel Kick on the other side of things. Well, I don't know that this is a good hand. But it is limited, so we can't mulligan. And so we won't mulligan. Mirror Edge. Thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. We'll take the keep. Okay, Sunblade Samurai is a decent thing to do on turn 2, and having it in the graveyard when we have Season of Renewal doesn't feel bad at all either. Satsuki's not stellar, but at least on turn 3 we can play it and block the Silencer, I guess. Hoping we don't get ninjutsu'd harder. Oh, they didn't discard a card. Surprising. Do a little bit of deck thinning. gain some life. Shigeki. Okay. What's your stat line? 1, 2, or 1, 3? So it could theoretically block Silencer and then ramp us next turn. Not that ramping next turn matters a ton. Given the opponent left all this mana up, I think it's safer to play Satsuki. I don't really want my Shigeki die. Well, you know what? I've got Season Renewal. It's not the end of the world if my Shigeki dies. Maybe it was worth just playing the Shigeki on the off chance that I get to activate it next turn, even if there's the possibility the opponent could play a removal spell here. I think the upside to that was higher than I gave it credit for. And the downside is less relevant than I thought it was. Opponent's ramping. It's probably intimidating, I think. Yeah, I don't have a way to use my mana very efficiently next turn because I didn't play the Shigeki. Or... Alright, the Jukai Preserver on the Deguchi Silencer is annoying. So they can kill my Satsuki. They choose not to. That's not terribly surprising. Lack of the next land drop is pretty rough. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. I can't do anything without making the land drop. If I play Shigeki, I guess I set myself up to double block the Silencer. The alternative is to just fade into Antiquity the Jukai Preserver, which prevents the most damage. But I really don't have a line set up for next turn if I do that. And I'm falling behind on board. I think I just have to hope to top deck the land, which is going to be rough because kind of thinned a fair amount of the deck already. Well, we can hope. Opponent could have nothing. That'd be cool. Geothermal Kami is pretty good, though. Alright, land drop helpful. Good work, deck. Now what do? Do we Tales of Master Seshiro? I'm probably just supposed to Blossom Prancer first. I mean, Greater Tanuki is probably excellent. Alright, so I need to stabilize the board as fast as possible. To that extent, not taking damage is probably ideal. I think I'm incentivized to trade off here. 3-2 lifelinker. Okay. Well, I think that means I just start playing Tales of Master Seshiro. And I think I just leave behind a 2-4. I could actually attack here. I'm actually okay with this trade, I think. I'm a little, like, my blocks are great, but I'm a little nervous of what happens if they just removal spell my Satsuki and I take 6. So I think I want to give them the option to trade here. I guess it's worse if they have that protection spell. It gives a creature indestructible. I kind of just get hyper blown out. I don't even get to. But yeah, I think a removal spell is more likely. Single block doesn't make a ton of sense. What would that mean? Yeah, okay, double lock. Alright, we get rid of the lifelink. Sets us up to play Golden Tail next turn. Okay, they exile the enchantment, sure. Is Satsuki an enchantment? No, interesting. Okay. So I'd like to draw a white source so I can Banishing Slash the Silencer and play Golden Tail. Oh, I can't. That takes 3 white sources. Okay, well, we're probably going to play Golden Tail and Shigeki then. I don't know if playing out Shigeki is correct, but I don't think that we're going to use it anytime terribly soon. So I might as well start filtering. We could also draw Invoke the Ancients. That'd be cool. I'm pretty sure we put that card in our deck. Shigeki. Okay. So... Oh wait, they played it. So I don't need to kill it this turn, I just need to kill it next turn? Which is awkward because that does sort of force me to cycle the Greater Tanuki to find a white source? No, they can... I can only kill it when it's summoning sick. Because they can just bounce it in response. Okay. So I'm just going to have to deal with not having an answer to that. Oh, wait. Can I 5, 6? No, I'm 1 mana short of Sunblade Samurai into Banishing Slash. I think that means I'm kind of just doing the same thing as them, trying to keep parity. How's the run going? We are 1-1. I should put that somewhere. Is there a delay? Nah, there isn't. That wouldn't be as fun. Target player discards 2 cards. Wait, that's what they got back? Okay. Oh, no. They haven't gotten anything back yet. Right. I feel like I can probably discard Banishing Slash in this spot. If they want to attack with the Silencer, I assume they just plan to kill the Shigeki, which works for me because I got the Season of Renewal anyway. The Mind Rot's actually gonna be kind of annoying because they can get that back and then cast it immediately to get rid of all my cards. Assuming I empty my hand. Yeah. But I don't think I'm supposed to take this damage. Not making this land drop is awkward. I could just Season of Renewal back Shigeki and play it right now, but then the opponent just gets to get an answer to it with their Shigeki. Forcing them to play an answer might be what I'm supposed to do, though. I think I'm just supposed to scry 2. Get rid of those. I mean, Season of Renewal just for, like, Blossom Prancer and Shigeki is probably just a lot of value. Okay, so they are going to opt to get back as many things as possible. They hit the untapped land, which hurts, so they're getting back 3 cards. It's probably going to be Blade of the Oni, Fade into Antiquity, and Greater Tanuki. Possibly Circuit Mender, maybe Mind Rot. Okay. I feel like playing Blossom Prancer is probably better than Shigeki for 2, although Shigeki for Season of Renewal actually is pretty appealing. I probably ought to just do that. I'm torn between how fast I'm supposed to be developing my board and how fast I'm supposed to be fighting the opponent looping Mind Rots. I think it's probably supposed to be Blossom Prancer this turn. And then if I whiff on putting a card in hand with Blossom Prancer, I don't play the Plains. Okay, so we do get to put Sunblade Sentinel into hand, then we can make the land drop. Because we can still play around the Mind Rot currently. They don't have anything else that makes us discard a card, right? It's just the one Mind Rot? Yes. So they can't exile Blossom Prancer. Their answers to the Blossom Prancer here aren't terribly excellent. Blade Blesser, maybe? Luckily, they don't have a way to loop this Shigeki back, so I think I'm still currently outgrinding them, depending on what they draw. Fade into Antiquity, Greater Tanuki, and Blade of the Oni. Interesting. Okay, well, Repel the Vial seems sort of stellar. Since they didn't get back the Mind Rot, do I just cycle Sunblade Sentinel for a land? I mean, I'm assuming I want to Repel the Vial the Greater Tanuki. That probably just happens. Yeah, I'm probably cycling this Samurai. Make land drops, gain life, draw cards. It's a life. Okay. I'm assuming they just don't think they can beat the Shigeki at that point. Works for me. This hand seems pretty awful, especially because the mana's so heavy on white. It's definitely the closest I've gotten to a mulligan. But mulliganing in limited is pretty bad. But, yeah. Oh, wow. It's the same hand, but worse. That's impressive. Alright, well, we're probably not winning this one, but I guess I still keep. What do we get rid of? I have to keep Careful Cultivation and Invoke the Ancients, because that's how I win this game after mulliganing to 6. Weirdly, I have to keep Sunblade Sentinel, because deck thinning and continuing to make land drops on the way to 4 mana is important. Between Fade into Antiquity and Fang of Shigeki, I'm not sure which is better. They're both pseudo-removal spells, but Fang is potentially easier to slot in at random spots on the curve. I'm assuming it's probably Fade into Antiquity. I don't know. I'm legit unsure on that. Well, we can just turn 1 Fang. That works. Air of Enlightenment. Okay. I don't really want to cycle Careful Cultivation earlier than I have to. I could go turn 3, play Careful Cultivation on Fang of Shigeki, just absolutely say, I don't believe you have it, opponent, and then try to turn 4 Invoke the Ancients. You could do that. I don't think I'm supposed to cycle Careful Cultivation yet with nothing to ramp into. I could legitimately try to do it. I don't think I'm supposed to. I think I'm just supposed to accept playing Sunblade Samurai next turn off of cycling Careful Cultivation. Opponent's got a 2/2 for a striker. That's annoying. Oh, hey, cool. Opponent's missing land drops. That's neat. We could draw a forest. Tales of Master Seshiro. That's actually probably better than Sunblade Samurai. What did you name this on? Red? I mean, okay, well. I was going to play Tales of Master Seshiro then. We had to turn Fang of Shigeki into a 3/3. And swing. Which is, like, cool, I guess? I'm not sure Satsuki's, like, actually great, but admittedly is pretty decent with Master Seshiro. No! All my cards! Green source? No, just more Tales of Master Seshiro. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and pump the Satsuki and go to combat and swing. And then pump the Satsuki. Just gonna keep forcing the opponent to have stuff. Trying to play fast, but Seal's the slowest format. Will this work? Well, it's all relative, right? Ooh, I love my 3-5 against a Geothermal Kami. I don't love my 4-4 against a Geothermal Kami, though. Oh, wait, you're a 5-5. Sweet! Alright, here we go. Let's get in there, team. I like how we've drawn Invoke the Ancients for the very first time, and this is the first game where we don't have the mana to cast it. But luckily, it looks like that might not matter, because the rest of the top decks have just been stellar. A ramp deck that's curve is like infinity 5-drops, just drawing 4 lands, is pretty nice. You have first strike. Okay, that doesn't actually matter. How many board wipes are in this format? Do I care about Ryu at all? I don't think so. Just a white one. Just farewell. I could choose not to play Invoke the Ancients here, but then I don't have the green mana to cast it after a farewell anyway. The opponent would have farewelled in that spot rather than play out the Ryu. So 100% they don't have it. I'm assuming I'm just supposed to get trample counters here. Okay. Wow, we won a game of Limited where we mulliganed. I wonder if I should do that more. Hand looks fine, a lot of ramp, and a Shigeki. I'm assuming I'm supposed to play Shigeki on turn 2. Be disappointed if my opponent exiles it, but I'm supposed to try to use that ability to fill the graveyard, considering I don't have anything in the graveyard for Shigeki to get back currently. Please don't remove my wonderful... Are you a snake? Snake Druid. Modern Age. Okay, you turn into a 2/3 flyer. Moderately annoying. So now we need to draw some 5-drops. It's not really a 5-drop. Return is part of the cost, so I can wait on this. Deny my opponent information as much as possible. There's no way they can remove it in response to the ability because it's part of the cost to return it to hand and not part of the effect. Flying 1/4. Okay. Get more green sources. That's good. We mill Careful Cultivation and Sunblade Samurai. Okay. Jukai Naturalist, 1 mana Shigeki. Then cycle Careful Cultivation. Just ramp. The self-mill aspect on Shigeki turns out to be pretty useful, huh? Alright, Uncharted Haven on black. Twisted Embrace. This kills the Shigeki. Rude. I mean, we already have the Season of Renewal, though, so it's kind of fine. I wonder if I was supposed to play Careful Cultivation on the Jukai Naturalist? Probably not. I could do that on my turn, though. Nah, I'm probably just not supposed to open myself up to getting 2 for 1 like that. Am I supposed to play the Shigeki? I don't think I can risk it. I think I'm just supposed to hold it in hand. The trouble is that I don't really have enough stuff in the graveyard to get back currently. I mean, I guess I get back Season of Renewal, so it doesn't matter. But we are taking a lot of damage in the air that we need to find answers to. Am I getting hit by a 3-mana Duress in Limited that's going to blow up my combo? That's a problem. Am I supposed to get Careful Cultivation just to put it on my lifelinker? I don't think that could be correct. Let me take my Shigeki. I think that leaves me with no other ways to get it back now, unfortunately. Draw 2. That's so good, though. They continue leaving back the 2/3. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, they have to prevent the Jukai Naturalist from getting in, so I'm not actually taking damage as fast as I was thinking. Ooh, Raider Tanuki seems fun. Am I supposed to play the Plains to play around a Mind Rot? Or not play the Plains to play around a Mind Rot, rather? I assume that is the case. Yowzers. Okay. Tough time on the having enough creatures front. You know about Wheel Kick, though, opponent? Okay, so I can play Sunblade Samurai, and then Wheel Kick one thing. That's probably bad. Don't think I can play around Mind Rot anymore. Safekeeping with Wheel Kick's kind of nice, at least. Unfortunately, the Puzzle Maker's a little hard to answer, but that probably doesn't matter too much. Luckily, we have a lot of incidental life gain. Okay, so we get to kill the Leech Gauntlet and the Vector Glider. They should... Oh, it's 4 mana to re-equip. Okay. They are scrying a bunch. It's inconvenient. Air of Enlightenment's cool. Alright, I want these two dead. Would like to play my Air of Enlightenment and Scry. Oh, wow, that is an extremely good Scry. Good work, enchantment. Very powerful. Love to see it. So somehow, despite establishing the Shigeki loop and casting a Spinning Wheel Kick, we're still behind on card advantage. It's a 5/7. That's going to be a problem while I'm dying in the air. Well, I have a lot of removal spells that can kill that. Land isn't one of them. Do we mill any of those removal spells already? No. Okay. Longest Reach of Night. Okay. I would love to discard this Plains that was useless anyway. 2 damage a turn's rough. Yowzers, yowzers, yowzers. Alright, so we end up sacrificing a 1/1 because the opponent can kill it for free anyway. But I can't attack with Goshen Tai because we have the first striker. Opponent says they have a removal spell. That sucks for me. But I can't afford to chump block this Mirror Shell Crab anyway. So I still just have to play into the removal spell regardless. What does that do? Bring it back? Yeah. That's a bummer. Alright, do you come back with haste? I kind of just need this scry. At least we're gaining a lot of life incidentally. No, Fang's not good enough. I don't know how I can win this from here. I don't think I can. So if I take all this damage, I go to 3. Air of Enlightenment puts me to 5. Top deck Invoke the Ancients. How many creatures do I have in my graveyard? 3? Okay, I think I have to take the damage then. I don't think trading off with Goshen Tai is actually useful at all. Lifelinker blocker. Okay, is that good enough to not die yet? You've got Menace, right? So I'm taking 5 damage. Yeah, so I still have to chump block. And there's a Fade into Antiquity, but too late to matter. Nope. Alright. Actually lost that game entirely to a main deck duress. Alright, not allowed to mulligan. Eater of Virtue. I don't see how that could possibly be scary or anything. Containment Construct. That's going to be a 4-1. I don't like that. Well, I can exile it with Fade into Antiquity at least. Geothermal Kami is not an enchantment, so Jukai Naturalist doesn't ramp into it. I think I'm just supposed to cycle Careful Cultivation here and then Fade into Antiquity the Containment Construct, probably. Hey! Solitarity? 9. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate the support. Solitarity. That seems like a username that's designed to trip me up. I could trade off with this, to be honest, with the Careful Cultivation. The trouble is that I don't have a huge number of guaranteed land drops. I guess I could just Jukai Naturalist. Hope to draw a land to play Tales of Master Seshiro off the Jukai Naturalist. Technically, I don't have a stellar way to play out next turn. Even if I do keep this 1-1, which I think means I'm supposed to block, but Okay. So we did draw a land, which means I can Tales of Master Seshiro next turn. I think I just play the Jukai Naturalist and leave the 1/1 back to block now. Because my ideal next turn is to just play Tales of Master Seshiro, giving the Jukai Naturalist the counter to buff the lifelink. Okay, if the opponent wants to spend mana interacting with this, I'm fine with it. And if they manage to post-combat kill my Jukai Naturalist, then so be it. Alright, their artifact gets exiled, which is actually kind of convenient for me, because it means they don't have stuff in their graveyard that they presumably can do something with in green. Okay, so they do kill the Jukai Naturalist, then I just play Geothermal Kami, and hope to draw another land. Yep. Not drawn another land yet, but progressing our board state is useful regardless. If we do miss the land drop, we get to fade into Antiquity something, or we'll sack a creature. Okay. Alright, Air of Enlightenment is something. I could cycle Greater Tanuki, but at this point I actually think that, given that I'm about to scry 2, I'd rather just try to scry into lands to play it. Well, we're not really developing our board here, which gives the opponent an opportunity to kind of get back into it. Gloom Shrieker getting back Gravelighter. It's going to be annoying. Okay, draw a card if a creature died this turn. And the sword's going to give Menace in the future. And we're still missing land drops. Well, at least now Master Seshiro, when we do play it, will end up pumping the first striker, which is at least moderately useful. I'm assuming I'm supposed to fade into Antiquity the Gloom Shrieker, probably. And not the sword? Maybe it's supposed to be the sword? It's probably supposed to be the creature. Yeah, maybe it's not. I don't know. Okay, Tales of Master Seshiro on an empty board. So the opponent's going to blow up the Hand of Enlightenment. I sort of think I'm okay with that, in the sense that I can play Tales of Master Seshiro, pump the Hand of Enlightenment, they kill it with Gravelighter. Then next turn I Banishing Slash their Tails, and mine's set to flip. I think that's what I'm supposed to go for. It ties up a lot of their mana. And they could also draw a bunch of cards, but sack lands in the process of doing that. Works for me. Okay. Creatures die. Sure. Could play the Samurai. Probably not supposed to. I could cycle the Samurai. Probably also not supposed to. Second Gloom Shrieker. Jeez. Wait, this doesn't exile? Oh, it doesn't. Wow. That's an extremely misleading name that the Banishing card doesn't exile. Alright, well, looks like odds are I want to play the Sunblade Samurai to eat up the Edict. Okay. Seshiro attacks. Sunblade Samurai develops. Slightly edict-proof, up until the opponent just plays another removal spell, because they have so many more cards than us. Okay. Gloomshrieker's an enchantment, so they just get to draw a card. Seems good. They have a land. Okay, so our Sunblade Samurai dies, but that's kind of okay. Our opponent probably ends up trying to double block Seshiro's Living Legacy, which we do get to blow out with Tamiyo's Safekeeping, hopefully. Hopefully. They don't set up for the double block. Yeah, I can't block here. They trade with the Sunblade Samurai and then get to Edict my Seshiro, which just isn't a good spot to be in. I guess they could sack the Gloomshrieker here. That might be what they're about to do. No, I sacked the 2/2. Okay. Alright, well, let's play around more Edicts, thankfully. That's actually kind of a decent draw. Or we could just play Sunblade Samurai. They've demonstrated not having removal spells so far. Although they could have like a 4-mana removal spell that they drew off Kami of Terrible Secrets. Either way, I think I'm probably just supposed to play to the board. I am still willing to not block. I am currently dealing more damage. Okay. What does that card do? Gains life, I guess? Oh, puts that back in hand so they get to revive more removal spells. Sure, cute. Okay. Then the hope here is that it looks natural for me to not swing with the Sunblade Samurai into the Gloomshrieker being a 4-power blocker. So I only swing with Seshiro, they set up a double block on it, I get to blow out the double block with Tamiyo's Safekeeping. Oh, thank goodness they didn't have another black source. Would have been very inconvenient if they just played the Gravelighter. Oh, right, they can just put it on that. So I only get a 1/1 or a trade off of Safekeeping. But this means I actually get to swing with the Sunblade Samurai, though, which at least is racing. Careful Cultivation is actually a pretty solid draw here. Alright. Trade with the Kami. Play Fang of Shigeki. Have the ability to cycle Careful Cultivation. The big question for me is, do I cycle, or if they play the Edict, do I sack the Fang or the Mana Dork? Fang having Death Touch is sort of almost useful, but Careful Cultivation, the Mana Dork actually lets me play Greater Tanuki, which is good. I'm assuming I'm just supposed to trade with the 5/1 here? Okay, no, they want to trade with Living Legacy. Sure. Okay. Well, I think I cycle Careful Cultivation then. Interesting. Oh, if you're confused about the term Edict, it is a term used to mean any effect that just says your opponent sacrifices a creature, and they get to choose which creature to sacrifice. I think it was Diabolic Edict was like the first card that did that. So I swing with everything here. I do 6 damage to them. They trade with Seshiro's Living Legacy. They have a lot of cards and a lot of mana. Yeah, Chainer's Edict is another one. Which was first, Diabolic Edict or Chainer's Edict? I'm assuming one of them was named after the other. Alright, I don't think that I'm progressing my board state at all by waiting around here. I think I just have to start attacking. Jumping the Sunblade Samurai. Why? That says something weird. Is there like some instant speed -X effect? No. Okay. No. There's just a way to sacrifice it and get 4 life out of it. That's not great for me. Opponent with a lot of cards. Alright, we're going empty-handed. There's -2/-2 for 1 black, but there's not like a board wipe version of it. What was the first pseudo Doomblade at instant speed? I can't think of anything. Terror? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Terror was what? Non-artifact? Also non-black. Okay. Doomblade just been around for longer, huh? And can't regenerate. Oh, that's true. Ugh. And Shigeki. Alright, well, I can't win. Yeah, this is... I mean, maybe. They still have to actually be able to utilize the fact that they have 9 mana and 6 cards to progress their board state fast enough. Lifelinker. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing for them. I can't really win. Would have been a good time to draw a removal spell so that we could win. How incredibly annoying that I am 1 damage short of killing this lifelinker before they can equip it with Eater of Virtue. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Because Fang of Shigeki actually has Death Touch. I have just enough that I can kill it. They have to block something, and that means the Ambusher has to die. Okay. That's minor mercies. There's no way I could ever beat Eater of Virtue giving lifelink. Okay, random chump blockers. Jeez. Okay. So this probably results in them blocking. No, they have an instant speed. Okay, so there's no point in attacking with a Death Toucher here. Oh, but this is the sacrifice, not -2/-2. Okay. So they can double block. They probably will. Then they can't sacrifice anything here, or else they don't kill the Tanuki. Okay, Eater of Virtue also gives reach, which could matter if I had a flying creature in my deck. We have Fang of Shigeki for Living Legacy. Which is just barely... Okay. Why would they... They must have the Indestructible card? I mean, I guess Eater Virtue gives haste now, is the idea. Oh, no, it doesn't! They draw a card with a 2/2, and then put the Eater Virtue on it? That doesn't seem good, though? I mean, I guess it seems fine. It's not great, but... Yeah. Spinning Wheel Kick. Wow, you would have been good, like, literally every turn in the game before this turn. Okay. I think this is like the first turn where Spinning Wheel Kick wasn't lethal. in a very long time. Not equipping the Gravelighters a curious choice. What does that mean? Oh, hey, cool. A really scary card that's bad for me. Cool. Opponent thinned our deck. There's two, but mostly ours. Polite of them. That explains why they didn't bother to equip Eater of Virtue. Okay. They can play Gravelighter to take out our 1/1. Next turn we're taking... Okay. Season of Renewal's interesting. So next turn we're taking 6 damage. What are we getting back here? Could get back Tales of Master Seshiro? I'm gonna have 6 mana to work with. This gives Menace. No, it doesn't. Why doesn't it? Oh, because the other thing got exiled to its own effect instead? Or does it just never equip to that? Am I supposed to play the Tanuki? If I play Tales of Master Seshiro, they kill my 2/2. Then get in with Nashi, and that's scary. I think I have to just play the Tanuki and accept the trade on Nashi. Alternatively, I could let Nashi hit me and just have the spinning wheel kick with Greater Tanuki. And just try to win? That seems extremely risky. Well, it's polite of them to tell me they have this walking skyscraper. So I have to deal with an 8/8 that's hexproof. Is that possible? I have 1 instant speed removal spell in my deck that could kill it after it attacks? I think that's my only out, and letting Nashi hit me doesn't make sense in that case. Land. Yeah, that's like super good game then. Yowzes. Alright. Well, successfully outvalued in like every game we lost, which is sort of shocking.